Welcome to The Forgotten City, an English story podcast full of mystery and adventure. Let's begin. Part 1, The Discovery of the Journal. In the dusty attic of her grandmother's house, Clara found an old leather-bound journal. Its pages were filled with sketches of strange symbols, maps of unknown lands, and notes written in faded ink. The final entry mentioned a place called the Forgotten City, hidden beyond mountains and rivers, waiting to be rediscovered. Clara felt her heart race. She had always dreamed of adventure, and now perhaps destiny was calling. Part 2, The Decision to Leave. Clara showed the journal to her best friend, Ethan. He was skeptical at first, but the excitement in Clara's eyes convinced him. "If this city is real," Ethan said, "we have to find it. It could change everything." They packed supplies, food, water, lanterns, and a compass, and prepared for a journey that would take them far from home. Part 3, The Road to the Mountains. Their journey began with long days of walking through valleys and forests. The journal's map guided them toward the mountains. At night, they camped under the stars, reading the journal's entries aloud. Each word seemed to whisper secrets of the past. Part 4, The First Obstacle. A raging river blocked their path. The bridge that once crossed it had collapsed long ago. Clara suggested building a raft, while Ethan worried about the strong current. Together, they gathered logs and rope, and after hours of effort, they managed to cross safely, though soaked and exhausted. Part 5, The Forest of Shadows. Beyond the river lay a dense forest. The trees were so tall they blocked most of the sunlight. Strange noises echoed around them, whispers, footsteps, and rustling leaves. Clara held the journal tightly, believing it would guide them through. Part 6, The Encounter with the Stranger. In the forest, they met an old man dressed in robes made of leaves. He introduced himself as a guardian of the land. "The Forgotten City is real," he said, "but only those with courage and honesty may enter." He gave them a wooden talisman shaped like a star and disappeared into the shadows. Part 7, The Mountain Gate. At the base of the mountains, they discovered a massive stone gate carved with ancient symbols. The talisman glowed, and the gate slowly opened, revealing a hidden path that wound upward into the peaks. Part 8, The Climb. The climb was treacherous. Rocks crumbled beneath their feet, and icy winds cut through their clothes. Yet, Clara and Ethan pressed on, driven by the promise of discovery. At the summit, they saw a vast desert stretching beyond the mountains. Part 9, The Desert of Silence. Crossing the desert was harder than they imagined. The sun burned during the day, and the cold froze them at night. Strangely, the desert was silent. No birds, no insects, not even the wind. It felt as if the land itself was holding its breath. Part 10, The Mirage. One afternoon, Clara saw a shimmering city in the distance. She ran toward it, but Ethan pulled her back. "It's a mirage," he warned. Clara realized the desert was testing them, trying to trick their senses. Part 11, The Oasis. After days of struggle, they found an oasis hidden among dunes. Clear water and fruit trees gave them strength. At night, they saw stars reflected in the water, forming the same crown symbol from the journal. Part 12, The Cave of Echoes. The journal led them to a cave at the edge of the desert. Inside, their voices echoed strangely, repeating words they hadn't spoken. "Do not fear," the echoes said. "The city awaits." Part 13, The Bridge of Light. Beyond the cave was a canyon with no visible crossing. Suddenly, beams of light formed a bridge. Clara stepped forward cautiously, and the bridge held. Together, they crossed into a valley filled with mist. Part 14, The Valley of Statues. The valley was lined with statues of kings, queens, and warriors. Each statue seemed alive, watching them silently. Ethan whispered, "These must be the rulers of the Forgotten City." Part 15, The Guardian's Test. At the end of the valley, a giant stone guardian blocked their way. "Answer this," it said. "What is the greatest treasure?" Clara replied, "Wisdom." Ethan added, "Friendship." The guardian smiled and stepped aside. Part 16, The Hidden Gate. They found another gate, smaller but more intricate. The talisman glowed again, unlocking the passage. Beyond it, they saw ruins covered in vines, the first glimpse of the Forgotten City. Part 17, The Forgotten City Revealed. The city was magnificent, even in ruins. Towers rose above broken streets, and fountains lay dry. Yet the air was filled with a sense of history, as if the city still remembered its glory. Part 18, The Throne Room. In the heart of the city stood a grand palace. Inside, they found a throne made of crystal. On it rested a crown glowing faintly. Clara touched it and visions filled her mind, images of the city's past, its people, and its fall. Part 19, The Choice. A voice asked them, "Will you protect the memory of this city?" Clara and Ethan both answered yes. The crown dissolved into light, leaving behind a crystal star in Clara's hand. Part 20, The Return Home. The city began to fade into mist. Clara and Ethan walked back through the valley, the desert, and the mountains. When they finally returned home, the journal was blank, its secrets fulfilled. Yet they knew the forgotten city lived on in their hearts, and in the lessons they had learned: courage, wisdom, and friendship. Thank you for listening to The Forgotten City. Remember, true treasures are not gold or jewels, but the lessons we carry within us. Join us again for another English learning adventure.